Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another episode of the expanded series. We are now entering the final week of spring, and what a week this is going to be. We start off by smelting some gold ores into bars. We're going to go to Clint and get the gold axe upgrade, and then we're going to go to Morris, and there's a couple of upgrades we can get here, but we're going to go with the bridge for now, because that will give us access to another area where we can plant huge tree farms. We then head back to the farm, and we're going to spend a bit of time today now clearing up more debris on the farm to make more space, but we're also collecting wood, stone and fibre, all very important resources needed to make a lot of handy things in this game. Once we're finished doing some farm maintenance, we're going to go straight back down into the skull caverns. Now we have a combat skill of 9 at the moment. We want to push that to 10. Once combat has been finalised, we then want to push foraging to 10 and then farming to 10. Once all that has been achieved, we will then strive to get mastery before entering into summer. We're not just after mastery though, we're also after huge amounts of money, and the Skull Cavern is the place to go, especially in spring. Now fishing is also very powerful to make huge amounts of money, but I feel like I've done enough fishing now to last me several challenges, so I just want to do more Skull Cavern runs in this specific season instead of resorting to fishing all the time. At the end of the day, we got a lot of combat XP, and we can now access the quarry, which is great. We can farm all of the resources within, and we can grow a big huge tree farm, tap it up and get lots of oak resins. We also made over 38,000 gold. Again, it was just iridium bars because we have so many. The next day, we're going to pick up some forageables here at the desert, and then we're going to go straight back into the Skull Cavern in the hopes to max out combat today. Once combat has been maxed out, we will then chain upgrade our axe to iridium, and once that's done, we will go to absolute town on cutting down trees. Despite the fact that this is a perfection run, we haven't really done much outside of level up our skills and trying to make as much money as possible. But what you're going to see now in summer and fall and the rest of the seasons is a much bigger effort when it comes to getting to know a lot of the Stardew Valley NPCs. The Stardew Valley Expanded mod has huge amounts of NPCs that you can talk to, new and existing, so it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of relationships we can forge with them. The other reason we're doing so many Skull Cavern runs is because we're going to need a lot of sprinklers come summer for starfruit, and we are going to use the starfruit tactic again. Picking up the seafoam pudding on floor 74 was just amazing. This will give me a +4 to fishing. We're going to save it for a difficult fish, and I'm sure Stardew Valley Expanded has many a difficult fish to pull up out of the waters. We are also getting lots of iridium ores today as well, which is great. This means a lot more money for us over the next few days. All of these slimes we're killing, serpents, mummies, bats, they will all contribute to monster eradication goals. And a lot of the omnigeels are picking up here as well. We can get Clint to break open so we can donate items to the museum. So doing the Skull Caverns a lot this season has a lot of benefits, which is great. Now when we got to floor 100, we picked up the purple slime egg, and this is worth a lot of money. Now we could keep it, we could build a slime hutch, and we could farm purple slimes, but I decided to sell it because it's just worth so much money and we're still in spring. Would be nice to have about 1 million gold going into summer. Now we are still actively looking for battery packs. These iridium bats have a 5% chance to drop them. You can also get them out of crates in the Skull Caverns as well and from the treasure rooms, but you need to be pretty lucky. The next day started with some mail. Now the first mail was just Linus to say he found us unconscious. That was good though, because we weren't building money. We got 10,000 gold off Mr. Key as well for making it past 4. I think it's either 25 or 30. We're going to get some artifact troves off the desert trader, and then we're going to go to Clint and get our gold axe. Now while we're at Clint, we're going to do a few things. The first thing we're going to do is upgrade our axe all the way to an iridium axe. This way, it's only 3 swings, and we can fully wipe out a tree. It makes it way easier to get the foraging skill up. We're now going to break open all of the artifact troves, and we get some amazing things. The treasure chests are worth 5,000 gold, but more importantly, we got the treasure appraisal guide. This will triple, that's right, it will triple all of the artifacts you can get in the game, and this makes certain artifacts extremely lucrative, like the dinosaur egg for example, or the strange dolls. The strange dolls used to be 1,000 gold, some of them will now go for 3,000 gold. We're also going to visit Morris as well after donating items to the museum, and we're just going to get the upgrade there for the panning. And the pan is something we will also fully upgrade as well, because I would like to get lucky rings sooner rather than later. We're then going to go back to the farm, smelt up some iridium bars, and it's straight back down into Skull Caverns. And if you focus your attention to the bottom left hand side of the screen, you will see an EXP bar. And as we can see, combat is getting very close now to being maxed out. We picked up a crystallarium as well today, which was great. We also got 2 iridium sprinklers. They're going to come in very handy later on. And if you're wondering what all these XP bars are, just look at the mods in the description. A lot of people request the mod which is called the UI Info Suite 2, and that mod is the one that shows you all the XP bars when you're changing tools. So because I have the sword out, we can see the combat XP bar. If I was to take out the pickaxe, you'd see the mining XP bar, so on and so forth. Now these big purple slime blobs are absolutely great for farming combat XP, especially when they explode and the little purple slimes come out. So if you do see a couple of those in the room, it's worth fighting them if you want to get huge amounts of combat XP very quickly. There's also a chance the blobs can drop some nice things, including iridium ores. After a few more floors, we finally got our combat skill to level 10. That was one less thing now I had to worry about. All that was left now to fully max out to get mastery is foraging and farming. We're also going to get the pan now as well tomorrow, which is great, and that pan can be upgraded all the way to iridium. In terms of perks for the level 10 combat, we have Defender and Brute. We're always going to take Brute to deal 15% more damage. We made a total of 25,000 gold today. Now a lot of that came from the artifacts. Look at the strange doll, 3,000 gold. Golden pumpkins, 2,500 gold a pop. The treasure chest, 5,000 gold. The purple slime egg, 5,000 gold. So it was just loads of miscellaneous items that accumulated to huge amounts of money. The next day starts with the usual smelting of ores. So we have a lot more iridium ores now that we can smelt up into bars, and then we're going to go to the quarry and we're going to wipe out every single resource that we can in this location. We're going to turn it into a huge oak resin farm. We are going to make thousands of cakes in the first year of this challenge. Money will simply not be a problem after a couple of seasons. We're also going to go to the flower dance event today because there's a recipe here we can get, and there's a rare crow that we need too. All of those things are needed to get perfection. This is also a great opportunity now to talk to everyone to complete the introductions quest. That's right, I have been doing extremely poorly when it comes to building up relationships on this file. I've barely even touched off it. So we're going to talk to all of the existing NPCs as well as all of the new NPCs that come from the expanded mod. We didn't get to dance with anyone because we didn't have any friendships accumulated with any of the bachelors or bachelorettes. So it was back to the farm that night to smelt up even more bars, which really cheered me up, to be honest. All of these bars are going to sell for extraordinary amounts of money. I also made huge amounts of tree fertilizer thanks to all of the fibre and stone that I've been saving up. I made 77,000 gold today, primarily from iridium bars. The next day, it was raining. There was only one day left on the kale. We also got the fish dumpling recipe off Olivia, which was nice of her. That means we get to harvest the kale tomorrow. That's going to skyrocket our farming straight up to 10, but it would be nice to max out foraging before then, because once we get farming to 10, if foraging has already been maxed out, all of the additional kale will go into mastery XP. So we're not going to touch the kale until we have foraging maxed out. That's the golden rule. We just got our iridium axe back off Clint. We're now going to hand in the watering can. And the reason why we're upgrading the watering can is because it's very handy to have that going into the likes of Ginger Island when you're transversing the volcano dungeon, and for other bits and bobs as well. Because we had steel axe and steel pickaxe at the minimum, we were able to get the Alleyway Buffet Book of Power. It increases the odds of which you can get items from trash cans. Now we're going to absolutely deforest this map today and tomorrow, because we want to get a foraging skill of 10. It didn't take us too long to get the foraging up to 9, but now we need 5,000 more foraging XP to get it to 10. The good news is that there are huge amounts of trees with Stardew Valley expanded. Some zones have been expanded, for example the Secret Woods. This place is now huge and it's filled up to the top with tree stumps. I don't know if they respawn every day, but I'm going to assume they do. When I went north of the Secret Woods, I actually came out at my farm, believe it or not. That's how big the Frontier Farm is. So this is another section of the Frontier Farm, and this is located just left of where you start on your main farm. It's just over a little bridge. But look at the amount of tree stumps that are littered on this farm. They are all over the place. And because I had a steel pickaxe, I was able to get at the cherry tree, which was really nice. It's so nice to be able to get apricots and cherries and other things very early in spring, you know, thanks to the Frontier Farm. So we are going to wipe out all of these resources. Now, I wanted to wipe that meteorite out and take a look at the house, but I couldn't. The pickaxe wasn't strong enough. So I think you need either a gold pickaxe or an iridium pickaxe to break that meteorite open so we can progress further and find out what's up with that house. I also picked up a woody secret as well. I actually get a few of these woody secrets today. The first one will give us a perk. There's a small chance when we chop down a tree it will give us double the resources. Every additional woody secret that we get, we're just going to get Foraging XP instead. But you know what? It's nice to get it, because even if the woody secrets give us over 100 Foraging XP, that's the equivalent of 7 or 8 trees that we're cutting down anyway. As we can see our huge kale harvest just over to the right. I absolutely cannot wait until I have removed every single bit of debris on this farm. Once I have a few 100,000 gold, I will be able to literally fill this whole farm up with crops. So we will absolutely need the iridium site to ensure we can harvest all those crops within a day. But that's much later in the challenge. For now, we have to put in the grind and we have to start wiping out all these trees. I will come back eventually with mega bombs and regular bombs, and I will wipe out all of the small debris just to make more space on the farm. Now, we are not going to get Foraging level 10 today. Tomorrow will also be required to push Foraging up to 10. But we have a little bit of time. Today is the 26th. We're going to use today to full effect when it comes to cutting down all of these stumps and all of the trees around Cindersap Forest. Because we have the level 5 Foraging per gatherer, if we're lucky enough to pull up 2 Foraging items instead of 1, we get double Foraging XP. So it's also nice to pick up the forageables every time we see those as well. Now, as we can see, the secret woods is now absolutely huge. But there's a few secrets in these woods. There's a few additional places you can go that I haven't figured out yet. I also picked up another woody secret off that tree, which was absolutely great. We will activate those very shortly, just to get that burst XP. Now, there is a silver lining here with cutting down all these trees. Eventually, I will backtrack, and I'll pick up all of the wood that's just spewed all over the place from these trees falling down. And the reason why I'm not hanging around to pick up the wood is because I just don't have time. If I was to hang around for the extra few seconds and pick up all of the wood that's coming off these trees, we probably wouldn't get max level Foraging today. You really just have to cut and go, cut and go. Now, I did find a really cool secret up here at the left hand side of Cindersap Forest. There was a bear just up on the cliff there, but also there was a little secret entrance and I was able to get a maple syrup. But there was also a cave there as well, but it said nobody was home, so it would be cool if we could enter that cave later on and maybe make friends with the bear, or better friends with the bear anyway, because back in the vanilla Stardew Valley, you only encounter that bear once, I think, when you give the maple syrup into the secret woods. I know there's another animal you can find at the south of Cindersap Forest, and he cleans up the beach if you give him, huge amounts of different types of recipes. I'm not too sure if that's the same bear. Now, we're going to end up with thousands upon thousands of wood. All that wood will be used to make cakes. Apart from the wood, we just need some oak resins, and we're going to get that sorted very soon now, once we get the quarry sorted. We also need some copper bars and iron bars, again, very easy to obtain. Once we got the level 10 foraging, we can now go ahead and we can harvest up the kale to get level 10 farming, and then it's straight into the mastery. And the great thing about this is that today is only the 26th. We have 2 more days to make the most out of mastery XP, so it would be nice to get at least 1 level in mastery before we get into summer, and if I can pull that off, that would be setting a personal record. So level 10 foraging, we're getting botanist, foraged items are always of the highest quality, and we're now going to get all 10 farming levels. And there's so many levels here that give us very important recipes. For the level 5 perk, we'll take tiller, crops worth 10% more. And for the level 10 perk, we're going to take agriculturist, all crops grow 10% faster. We can now make kegs, we can now make sprinklers, we can make everything farming related. We almost made 30,000 gold as well. That was primarily from selling iridium bars. We went back to Clint, we got the copper watering can on the 27th. We're now going to get Clint to upgrade that to a steel watering can. We're then going to get Clint to break open all of these omni geodes in the hopes that we get some minerals that we can donate into Gunther, so we can push along the museum side quest and get that finished as quickly as possible. Now, we also have all of the kale we harvested yesterday. The reason why we didn't put it in the shipping bin is because we're going to lose out on 10% of its overall value, because the perks don't activate on the night that you get them, they only kick in the next day. So once we're finished with the museum, we're going to go talk to Morris, and we're going to get the final Joja development project done, which is the greenhouse unlock. The greenhouse will serve us well, and I'm pretty sure with the expanded mod, it's going to be a very big greenhouse that we get, so it will be very interesting to check that out now over the next few days. After selling the kale, we have over 350,000 gold, and we also get a cool cutscene here with Marlin telling us about the galaxy sword, and that only activates once you swap in your prismatic shard for the galaxy weapon. Once we're finished talking with Marlin, we get to talk to Gil, and Gil is going to give us a very interesting quest. We just have to assemble a couple of pieces of minerals for him, and he will fix up the minecarts on our farm. Now, at this moment in time, I don't know what that will do. I don't know if it will give us access to, another location exclusive to Stardew Valley Expanded, but hopefully it will work in tangent with all of the current fast travel points that we have unlocked. For example, the town, the bus stop, things like that. That would be really nice. Because we have over 1,000 monsters killed, we can get the Mapping Cape Systems Book of Power. This just gives us a 50% discount on Marlin's item recovery service. We then went to the quarry, and as we can see, we now have a huge farm laid out here. And every single one of those seeds is going to grow up into an oak tree. We're going to tap all those to get oak resins, because we need those to make cakes. We're then going to turn huge amounts of quartz and fire quartz into refined quartz, because we need that to make sprinklers. We're now going to go to Gus, and we're going to purchase huge amounts of salad. We've got tons of money, well over 350,000 gold. 50 salads will cover us for a while. That night, Morris and the team fixed up the greenhouse, so we now have all of the development projects finished. Now we can't get to Ginger Island just yet. We need 5 battery packs. I think we only have 1 or 2 battery packs at the moment. We're going to take a magic rock candy today, and because it's also a Sunday, we're going to trade in all of the jades we have accumulated to get tons of staircases. We also have lots of regular bombs and mega bombs as well, so today is going to be an absolutely amazing day for the Skull Caverns. We've got over 55 staircases. We're going to spam them at the very start. We're going to hit multiple treasure floors. We're going to get artifact troves. We're also going to get a seat maker that will come in handy. Picking up more prismatic shards, it just means more magic rock candies for us. There was always a need for bombs. A second auto petter that would be put to work very quickly. We also got some life elixirs as well, and they're amazing. They put our health right back up to full. A second prismatic shard in the bag. Once most of our staircases were activated, after that it was just a matter of getting as much iridium ore as possible and slaying as many enemies as possible. On floor 100 we picked up the Dark Cowboy hat. Now I'm not going to use that because I think Gil's hat is just way cooler, so we're going to keep Gil's hat out. Now fingers crossed we can get the first level of mastery today. That's going to set a personal record. And I don't really know what I'm going to use the first level of mastery for if I can unlock it today. I might take farming, or I could take mining, I'll see. I could even take fishing. I just don't know what way summer's going to go, or what way I want it to go. Now I ended up getting huge amounts of prismatic shards today. I got, I'd say, maybe 5 or 6 of them, which was really nice. I am going to keep a lot of them for enchants over on Ginger Island, because I want to enchant all of my tools as quickly as possible, just to make everything more efficient. On floor 157, I finally got a new level of understanding. That means I unlocked a mastery level. You can now go into the mastery cave and select an advanced perk. Let's take a look at what we got from the Skull Cavern runs today. We got over 440 iridium ores, 6 prismatic shards, an auto petter, diamonds. We got so many great things. Our mastery level is now 1, which is great as well. And that is the end of spring. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this week. And I just want to thank everyone for watching these videos. I really do appreciate you. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you in the next expanded episode. Bye for now.